especially on sleep. Like Shannon said, my name's Kara. I'm an occupational therapist, a yoga instructor, and I own my company called Caroline's Wellness, which is focuses on breast cancer rehabilitation and lymphedema. Oncology rehab is really my passion, and so many people feel like they have to just kind of push through these negative side effects of cancer and just or cancer treatment and just live with it. And I truly believe with the right tools and guidance and knowledge, so many of the negative side effects of cancer treatment can be greatly alleviated or even prevented. So tonight we're going to talk about mind and body balance in whatever part of the cancer journey you're in. And obviously achieving balance is a really individual because you're all unique and have your own needs and like interests, but we can really learn so much from each other. There's so much power in sharing our goals and our setbacks, our experiences, and our wins. So I want to start out just to give everybody a chance to start kind of building a little bit of community, but just in a short breakout room where we can share, you know, just like your name, where you're from, and then a win, something that's a win today or something you're grateful for. And there's no win that's too small. Like it could be that you drank those 8 cups of water that we're all supposed to do, or you made it to class on time, whatever it is. But I'll get that going really quick. Sorry, I'm just going to take 1 second. Welcome back, everybody. Awesome. Okay, we're all back now. Thank you for doing that, guys. Just sharing wins and having like a daily gratitude practice has been shown to just improve positive emotions, to strengthen relationships and help us deal with adversity better. So it's such a simple thing that we can do daily that can have huge effects on our mental health and overall well-being. We do this at my family at the dinner table, and it's just a nice way to start a meal and to start conversation. So thank you. I'm going to start my presentation with a story quick because I do feel like there's so much power in sharing our stories. And this is about my friend Mike. He was diagnosed with head and neck cancer in 2016. Mike works full time. He's a father of 4 and active in the CrossFit community. Mike kind of, once he got this diagnosis of cancer, he took it head on and just felt like this is a bump in the road and I'm going to get through this, and started treatment thinking that he's going to stay on the same trajectory that he was already on. And so when he started, he continued going to the CrossFit gym and doing his regular exercise. And during treatment, it got a little challenging. So he started modifying, which is really common in CrossFit workouts anyways. But eventually this led to the coaches kind of doing like a side workout for him that they would make. And in the most challenging parts of his treatment, his daughter and him would go after hours and do his own workout. Now, Mike didn't keep going to the CrossFit gym because he was like such a hardcore athlete. If you actually asked him, he would say that he's not athletic at all. He kept going because he knew how important it was to stay active during his cancer treatment. And also it was a place where he could be truly present. He had support from the community there. he could just focus on his workout. His mind could not think about the worries and the stresses of the day and of cancer and doctor's appointments and the future. He could really just truly be, and it became a mindfulness practice for him too. Mike said that he kind of took on the treatment like he would a CrossFit workout. Like when you come in and you see the list of all the exercises, it could be overwhelming and almost feel impossible to finish, but you just start doing one and then the next and then the next. And eventually you're almost halfway through and you can see this like light at the end of the tunnel. He said that the best advice he got during this time was just to be gentle with yourself. And for him, that meant going home from work early when he needed to, taking a nap, allowing his family to take on some roles that he normally would do, and being okay with the fact that exercise looked a little different for him, like at that time. Mike's now almost 5 years cancer-free, and for a recent milestone birthday, he decided that he was going to run 1 mile outside every day for the year, which us Midwesterners know that's like not an easy task to do. But he decided to do this because he said he wanted to keep up the momentum that he had going when he was in cancer treatment. And I think that he's such a wonderful example of what it is to find mind and body balance during treatment, and then also how it can carry on into your life long after. So let's get into, I'm going to share my screen and we will get started. All right. So the objectives we're going to talk about tonight is, why is mind-body balance important? What are some mindfulness practices? Physical activity from diagnosis to survivor, and why does perspective matter? And then we are going to try some of this movement and breathing meditation too. So why is the mind-body balance important? It's important because there is an undeniable interconnectedness between the mind and the body. You know, research shows that how we think and how our emotions greatly affect our body on a cellular level. And time again, we see that people who are more physically active have an improved mental health and overall well-being. Healing and a feel of personal wholeness only occur when the mind, the body, and spirit are in balance. And balancing them all is necessary for happy and fulfilled life. And in moments of crisis, especially in moments of crisis, it's vital to be vigilant and protecting that balance. And I don't know everybody here's, but for me, a physical activity has always been a little bit easier and a little bit more approachable. But if we are only focusing on a physical activity, you know, during cancer treatment or afterwards when we're dealing with side effects, we're missing a huge part of our overall wellness. A colleague of mine, her name is Lisa. She is a wife, a mother, a friend, a PT, and a breast cancer survivor. She was diagnosed at 38 with stage 2 breast cancer. And kind of the same mentality of Mike. She was like, I'm just going to take on treatment and come home and be a mom and continue doing all the things I could do, until like stress and anxiety and overwhelm just kind of started building up on her. And she said, if I had known more in the beginning, I would have been proactive on the things sneaking up on me. This isn't just a physical change, it's emotional and it's spiritual too. So let's talk about some mindfulness practices. Meditation, breath work, journaling, art, yoga, and Tai Chi are just a few. And obviously some of these kind of overlap of like mind and body, and that's because there is such a strong interconnectedness. But what they allow you to do is to slow down and notice the connection between thought and physical response in a positive way. And I say in a positive way because a lot of the times there can be like a negative self-talk around the feelings popping up in or the thoughts popping up in your head, or noticing physical responses in your body. For example, if you're having the same worry coming in your mind over and over again, you might start being like, oh, why am I thinking about that again? Can I just get that out of my head? I don't know why I keep worrying about this. And And when you're in a mindfulness practice, this is a practice, obviously, it's not just like super easy to do this, but just kind of noticing that thought coming in and then not putting judgment on it, focusing back on your breathing or your mantra or whatever it is you're doing. And then if it comes back again, just noticing, oh, there's that thought again. Okay, I'm going to focus back on my breathing. And it just kind of takes away some of that negative energy around what's happening. It also provides a soothing stimulus to counteract negative stimuli such as pain, stress, radiation, chemo, fatigue, etc. There's a lot of negative stimuli that come into our lives. And especially when you're going through treatment or after, or just getting diagnosed and being overwhelmed with all the information that's coming at you. So this is a way to kind of slow down and let that your brain, that monkey brain that's thinking of 1,000 things at one time, focus on one thing. And it lets your sympathetic nervous system turn off and your parasympathetic nervous system turn on, that rest and digest, and let your body truly calm. Now, like I said, there's like a lot of different practices here, but what a mindfulness practice in general has in common is 4 things. So a quiet place with just few or no distractions, a specific posture or movement such as sitting or lying down or walking, a focus of attention on a word, an object, or on breathing. And finally, an open attitude that allows for thoughts and distractions to come and go without judgment, which is kind of like what we were talking about before. Does anybody have like a current mindfulness practice that they use or have started to try to implement or interested in? You can say it or you can put it in the chat, whatever works for you.
I do guided meditation. I actually got referred to an app that I'm really enjoying that I actually do with my eldest daughter. She's 8. And she's really into things like that. And it's really nice because they vary in a lot of lengths. So we'll do like the 4-minute ones together, which is a really good time frame for someone that's little. And so they know about going over rainbow bridges or being part of the sun. So they're very, very visual. But doing it together has been really nice and a good way for me to check myself.
I love that. And what a great practice to start initiating with your daughter now. Agreed. The guided ones are great. And I feel like that's an awesome way to start because you don't even realize that 4 minutes is gone sometimes. Monica uses journaling and actually made a vision board yesterday, which was really calming. That's awesome. Would like to incorporate more yoga and meditation. Good for you for creating a vision board and journaling, so huge, and kind of uncovering a little bit deeper into what we're feeling, peeling back those layers. Bullet journaling, coloring and drawing. I also have started to try to meditate with crystals. Awesome, Kristen. Mandy, I've done journaling and yoga, and I have a gratitude journal where I write down 3 things I'm grateful for each day. Awesome, Toya. Okay, perfect. So you guys all have some things that you are regularly implementing or starting to at least. So beautiful. Good job, guys. So I'm going to talk about just some examples of each of these. Meditation and breath work. There's so many different things that you could do for this. I just put 4 down to talk about today, and we're going to actually do 2 of them at the end. But guided imagery is a way to incorporate all 5 of your senses into imagining yourself in a peaceful and a positive place. This is really lovely to do like before a stressful event, possibly during chemo, and definitely before going to sleep to relax. And for example, if your positive place is on a beach relaxing in the sun, you can imagine feeling the warmth of the sun on your skin, smelling the ocean's breeze, hearing the waves crashing, maybe tasting a tropical smoothie, hearing the birds chirping. Like you can just incorporate all of these and just really take some time to sit there and feel and be there. You'd be surprised how realistic it can be sometimes. Loving kindness meditation is a meditation that helps to improve, focus on compassion and unconditional love to yourself and to others. But what I love about this is it does focus on yourself, because sometimes it's easier to give that compassion to other people than it is to give to ourselves. We're going to practice that one in a little bit. Samavriti pranayama is also called equal part breath or box breath. And we'll do this one now. What we think about is like the vertical lines of a box are inhales and the horizontal lines are exhales. And so I'll start with like drawing it and cueing the inhale and the exhale. And then we'll do a couple rounds where I just draw the box with my finger. So just find a nice comfortable seat. If you can, get yourself in a good posture. Shoulders over your hips, maybe just tuck the chin a little bit. Exhale all the air out to start. And then we'll inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Last round of breath. Good, and just relax your body, open your eyes if you had them kind of in a soft gaze. Obviously, you don't have to draw the box for that, but it's just a nice, you can count to 4, inhale and exhale, and that helps to improve focus, relax the body, calm the mind. And Dirga Pranayama is another one we're going to practice. This is called 3-part breath also. And this focuses on taking a complete inhale and a complete exhale. It's the framework for a lot of breath work. It also helps to improve your overall, like taking a full, complete breath, because we tend to kind of take these shallow breaths, and just overall relaxation in your body. And this one, like I said, we're going to do it, but you kind of focus on your belly expanding, your ribs expanding, your chest, and then going back down on the reverse. Journaling. So everybody has a different way that works for them with journaling. So I'm just offering different pieces, and take what works for you and forget about what doesn't work for you. So it's just finding a little, but this is just like little prompts that you could use. And I think starting with awareness is really the most important part, because sometimes we don't even realize how we're feeling in the moment. So taking a moment to write about where you're really at, how are you feeling, and you might be surprised what comes up. And then moving on to intent. So most likely cancer has changed how you imagined your current life to be. And that can be so difficult to deal with, but you still have so much meaning and purpose. And it's important to reassess your goals and create new goals and plans. And this is a life-changing experience, whether you can physically or do the same things during, before, or after. Your goals might be different, and to take some time to reassess what is really valuable to you is important. This also creates connection with your inner self that allows an opportunity for peace and healing. And finally, reflection. So just take this, like the stories that we tell ourselves about who we are and what's happening to us have so much power. And if you start to think about what the central themes that you're telling yourself are, then you can have a better insight of like, how is this affecting my mental health, my motivation, my goals? And then, like I said, there's so many different prompts, but these are a few ideas. Art is not maybe what you traditionally think of as a mindfulness practice, but it allows you to dive deeper into your self-expression, explore creativity, reduce stress, build community, but really also be truly present in what you're doing. And you can do the traditional of painting or drawing. There's so many. I know Gilda's Club offers classes, and different Cancer Support Network offer regular classes or events. And they also, I know some centers have chairside art therapy where somebody will come when you're having chemo and do art with you. But it doesn't have to be like what you traditionally think of as art. It could be cooking, taking a cooking class, or just having like a weekly recipe that you want to try where you can really be present and explore your creativity. It could be listening to music or playing an instrument. The sky's the limit. And then finally, yoga and Tai Chi. Yoga, the definition is to yoke or unite, and thinking in a mind, body, and spirit way, it truly is a mind-body practice. In a literature review that I looked at that was specifically about breast cancer survivors, it said that in particular, yoga seems to have a positive effect on breast cancer survivors' experience of psychosocial and social well-being. It could help to restore their body image, self-esteem, and may contribute in returning to their pre-diagnosis daily life. So that's a pretty huge testament to doing yoga. And it doesn't have to be like a 90-minute vinyasa class every day. It could be 15 minutes, but it has been shown that a regular practice, you will see greater benefits than if it's kind of like intermittent once a month. Or so even trying to do like 15 minutes a few times a week can have really great effects on your overall quality of life. And then in the literature review that I looked at, Tai Chi kind of showed uncertain effects on quality of life. It's still definitely a mind-body practice, but I feel like there just needs to be some more research out there on it. So let's dive into physical practice. If you, again, I'm not sure where everybody is at right now in their life, but at diagnosis, if you have a physical movement practice, keep moving, keep doing what you're doing. And if you don't at the time of diagnosis, then it's the perfect time to start one. And I know that sounds crazy because treatment can ramp up and you have a million other things that you need to be doing, but just a few of the benefits of starting a movement practice at diagnosis is reduce complications of surgery, handle treatment and recover faster, handle depression and anxiety, sleep better, have more energy. So just like huge benefits to start out with a strong foundation. And does anybody have like a physical, what is your guys' movement practice? Does anybody have something that they are regularly doing or want to get back to? Again, you can say it or you can type it in the chat. Kristen goes to a gym and has a trainer. I also got a physical therapist. Awesome, Kristen. I'm definitely going to talk about how important it is to have some guidance. So that's amazing that you've taken that step already. And Mandy, I think I saw a baby getting handed to you. So that's a physical practice for sure. Just moving and keeping up. Oh, there he is. I have a 9-month-old and a 4-year-old. So I try to move with them, which is a lot. I have a 4-year-old and an 11-month-old, and I completely get that. Yes. With the weather warming up, I want to get back to walking 3 miles a day. I haven't been able to in months. That's such a great goal, Toya. And like the fresh air and warm weather will be such a huge motivating factor too. Monica recovering from surgery, but hope to get back to walking, yoga, and stationary bike. Beautiful. That's amazing goals, Monica. Okay. You guys might know some of what I'm about to talk about, but during treatment, obviously, I think that it's so important to continue with your physical movement practice. And the benefits of a physical movement practice are way more than any negatives out there. There are some precautions that I want to talk to you about, not to scare you, but to empower you with the education and knowledge of what you should be looking for and what to bring the attention to your provider with. So some precautions are cardiac dysfunction, and that's because chemo and radiation damage the muscles of the heart. And especially with radiation, if you had it on the left chest wall, like the effects can show up many years later. So it's important to just be monitoring your heart. And it's so great with technology, you can keep track right there, but on your watch, but keeping track of your heart rate before, during, and after, knowing how to take your blood pressure, knowing what your max heart rate should be, like all of those things are really important to incorporate into your fitness routine. Peripheral neuropathy is a common side effect of cancer treatment, that numbness in your fingers and your toes. And that's something to be cautious of if you're like lifting a heavy weight, if you're dropping things frequently. It's also easier to trip because you don't have the same sensation in your feet. So making sure you have like a safe, clear pathway. Lymphedema. I think that there's so much more information out there on lymphedema, but definitely for a while it was a lot of like scary stuff, like fear of like never use your arm, don't carry anything, don't carry your purse here on that side. And there's so much you can do to prevent lymphedema or avoid flare-ups of just being aware of what the early symptoms are. There's also a lot of research about how to safely progress strengthening. And they actually know that there's no upper limit of weight that you can lift if progressed safely in the proper way. So just having some guidance with that is huge. Osteoporosis and osteopenia, especially if you have breast cancer or prostate cancer. So just asking your provider and making sure you're aware of that, because then you would be at a higher risk of like fractures. But being guided by a professional is so important. So yes, just like Kristen is doing, and also a professional that has education in oncology rehab. So your OT, PT, personal trainer, or any kind of fitness professional that has extra education in oncology rehabilitation. And then finally, give yourself some grace with where you're at right now. If movement on this day looks like wrist circles and deep breathing, then like awesome that you did that movement practice. You stayed in a regular routine. That's going to help with your overall mental health. So be flexible in this time. And there's actually, oops, sorry, I didn't mean to do that. I want to go back. There's actually so much information out there on exercise and the symptoms of cancer treatment. I want to show you this chart. Let's see. Can you see this part of my screen showing up? Is it showing up on your screen? No. Okay, well, I'll send it to you, but it's a chart from exercisesmedicine.org, and it essentially can give you a like prescription almost, like it tells you exactly the amount of exercise that would be beneficial if you have the symptom of cancer-related fatigue, or if you have a symptom of lymphedema, like what's the safe, what do they have research on, how many times aerobic activity a week, what intensity. So it's amazing the amount of research and knowledge they have on exercise and the benefits that it can provide you. I'll send that over though this week so you can have it, because it's so great and it's just such a huge motivator of something that you can tangibly do to improve your side effects, and also even assist with cancer prevention later on, or reoccurrence. And then physical activity after treatment, same thing, because some of these side effects can occur much later. Begin with guidance from an oncology professional. And then start low and progress slow is always a good key to go with. And if you're really active before, it's almost even better to have that guidance, because you might jump in a little too fast, or you might injure yourself, which might set you back with reaching the goals that you want to get back to doing. But you most definitely do not have to settle for less. One last story is about a patient of my colleagues. Her name is Julie. She's a physician assistant, and she was diagnosed with breast cancer in her early 30s. She did not have a physical movement practice when she was diagnosed. During treatment, she started biking. She worked with her occupational therapist to get compression garments for her arms, because she was noticing a little bit of swelling when she first started biking. Also was given guidance on how to safely progress. And after treatment, she ran her first half marathon ever. So don't feel like you have to be limited. And that kind of brings me to my final point of, why does perspective matter? this term, a new normal, is kind of used a lot, I think, in the cancer world. And I don't particularly like it, because what does that even mean? Our bodies are continuously changing from injury, childbirth, pregnancy, illness, age. The only normal we really have is right now. And if you're constantly thinking of the things that you used to be able to do that you can't do right now, then that's no way to live. You're not going through this treatment to get through it and feel miserable. You're going through this because you have meaning and purpose and so much more to do, and you do not have to settle. So we're going to try and do a little bit of the movement. I'm going to move my computer, and I think I told Emma, but just so you know, I'm at my wonderful in-laws lake house. So there's a lot of nautical themed things behind me, but I will get here. And if you have a space that you want to practice on, a mat or the floor, it doesn't matter. We're going to kind of stay low. Not standing up all the way or anything, but we'll breathe and move together. I do have 2 blocks and a little blanket down, but feel free to grab pillows or whatever will help you feel comfortable. Okay, so we're gonna start laying down, and you can put the blanket underneath of your head, 2 blocks underneath of your knees if you wanna just kind of set yourself up in a supported way. Take a minute to get comfortable. So any way that's comfortable for you. And we're going to start, I'm going to get a little closer because I forgot to have a headless earphones, but we're going to start with breath work. So start with both hands on your belly. And we're going to do that Dirga Pranayama. As you begin, just take a couple breaths without just your normal breathing, in and out. You can find a soft gaze or close your eyes. And on your next inhale, notice your belly rise like a balloon inflating. And then as you exhale, let it soften and lower. Inhale, let the belly rise. Exhale, let it lower down. One more time. Inhale, the belly rises. Exhale, let it lower. And now move your hand placement to your ribs. This time as you inhale, feel the expansion of your ribs, not only side to side, but front to back. And then on the exhale, feel a contraction as everything pulls to midline. Inhale, feel the expansion. Exhale, everything pulls into midline. One more, inhale. And exhale. And then finally, put your hands onto your collarbones. This is more of a subtle movement, but as you inhale, feel a gentle spreading of the collarbones. And then as you exhale, let everything kind of soften and relax down. Inhale. Exhale. One more time like this. Inhale, feeling the chest rise, the collarbone spread. And then exhale, everything pulling to midline. We're going to put this all together. You can put one hand on your belly, one hand on your chest. On your next inhale, let the belly rise. Feel the ribs expand and the collarbone spread. As you exhale, let the chest soften. Ribs pull to midline. The belly lowers. Inhale, belly, ribs, chest. Exhale, chest, ribs, and belly. Good. 2 more rounds on your own. Perfect. And then when you come to that last round of breath, we'll begin a bit of movement. You can let your hands lower to the side, remove your blocks if you have any. Bring your feet about mat width distance apart, and then just gently let your legs windshield wiper to the left and to the right. Bring some movement into your hips, into your low back. Inhale to center, exhale, let them fall to the side. Inhale, center. Exhale, let them fall to the side. And the next time that your legs go to the left side, just let them stay there. And then roll your entire body over to the left. Okay. We'll come into that hands and knees position. And if you would like to put the blanket or something under your knees, like I said, we're not really getting up to standing much, so it might be nice to have a little extra padding. And then if you do have any blocks or books, you can bring them to the top. And our hands and knees, pressing hands down into the mat, wrists in line with the shoulders and knees in line with the hips. As you inhale, lift your heart, drop your belly, lift your tailbone for cow. And then as you exhale, arch the back, curl your tailbone under, tuck your chin. 5 is going to be our magic number today as we get kind of in a meditative meditation and movement. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, tuck the chin, curl tailbone under. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. One more. Inhale, cow. And this time as we exhale, curl back like you're going to a cat, but then sit your hips down into your knees like a child's pose. And if that doesn't feel good on your arms, you can always bring them back behind you. We're going to keep with the motion now. So as we inhale, roll up back into that cow pose. Exhale, curl back down into a child's pose. Inhale, cat. Exhale, child's pose. Sorry. Inhale, lift the heart for cow. Exhale, child's pose. One more. Inhale, lift your heart. Exhale, tuck the chin back into child's pose. Now this time when you inhale, you're going to press down through your shins and your knees and come into a tall kneeling. Reach arms up if that feels comfortable, or you can reach straight out in front of you. Nice. And then exhale, come back into that child's pose. So we're really just keeping our breath to movement here. Inhale, cow, lift the heart. Exhale, press back into child's pose. Inhale, tall kneeling. And of course, if anything does not feel good in your body, do not do it. Exhale, child's pose. Beautiful, everybody. Inhale, cat. I keep saying that, cow, sorry. Exhale, child's pose. Inhale, tall kneeling. Reach up, stretch through the fingertips. Exhale, child's pose. Inhale, cow. Exhale, child's pose. Inhale, tall kneeling. Last time like this, we'll add on one more thing. Exhale, child's pose. Inhale, cow. Exhale, child's pose. Inhale, reach up, tall kneeling. And this time, grab your right wrist on the inhale. And as you exhale, reach over to the left. Inhale, center. Exhale, reach up and over to the right. Inhale, center. Then as you exhale, cactus your arms, lift your chest. Inhale, reach all the way up. Exhale, fold back down into that child's pose. We're going to go through that 5 times 2. Inhale, lift the heart for cow. Exhale, push back into your child's pose. Inhale, tall kneeling. Exhale, reach up and over to the right. Inhale, center. Exhale, reach up and over to the left. Inhale, center. Exhale, cactus the arms, lift the chest. Good. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, child's pose. Inhale, cow. Exhale, child's pose. Inhale, tall kneeling. Exhale, reach over to the right. Inhale, center. Exhale, reach over to the left. Inhale, center. Exhale, cactus the arms, lift the chest. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, child's pose one more time. Inhale, cow. Exhale, child's pose. Inhale, reach up into your tall kneeling. Exhale, reach over to the right. Inhale, center. Nice. Exhale, reach up and over to the left. Good. Inhale, center. Exhale, cactus the arms, lift the chest. Beautiful. Inhale, reach all the way up. Exhale, you can put your hands down. Let your legs come to one side and then just swing them out in front of you to find a comfortable seat. We're going to move to our backs pretty quickly. So we'll just sit here quick. Maybe bring the soles of your feet together. You can even put a block or a book on that. Feels good. And then just let yourself kind of relax. You can rest your forehead on the block or the book. Try to let your shoulders soften, your head really be heavy and supported. We'll just take a few rounds of breath here. Let go of any tension you're holding in your body. One more full round of breath. Then you can let your legs stretch out long and then find whatever is comfortable for you for a final resting meditation. That could be laying on your back, kind of in that supported Shavasana like we started, or it could be sitting up. You could sit on a pillow or a blanket. Perfect. So for this, I want you to place one hand on your chest. Keep a nice soft gaze. As you inhale, feel the expansion of your heart. And then as you exhale, feel that contraction of your chest. Good. And as we continue feeling this expansion and contraction in our chest, visualize this warm white light around your heart. And with each inhale and exhale, that light continues to grow. It gets brighter and brighter, shining out from you. And now visualize or remember a time in your life when you felt truly loved and happy. Notice the sensations in your body when you remember that. And now visualize yourself standing right in front of you, just as you are, whole and beautiful in this exact moment. And to yourself, you can say it out loud or in your head. Tell yourself, may I be happy. May I be safe. May I live in peace. And now imagine a loved one in front of you. Maybe a family member or a friend. Imagine them truly happy. And with these same feelings of compassion in your heart, wish them, may you be happy. May you be safe. May you live in peace. And now bring yourself to imagine somebody who's maybe more of a neutral connection, such as your mail person or a local barista. To them, may you be happy. May you be safe. May you live in peace. Now bring to mind somebody that maybe you have a bit of conflict with, maybe some negative feelings. To them, may you be happy. May you be safe. May you live in peace. And finally, expand this wish of love and kindness to your entire, all living beings in your city, your state, your country, the world. May we all be happy. May we all be safe. May we all live in peace. And just begin to deepen your breath. Maybe gently blink open your eyes. Wonderful. Thank you for breathing and moving with me. Thank you for your time. And all the things we talked about tonight, it's valuable information, but it is like the tip of the iceberg. And the stories that I shared about Mike and Lisa and Julie, they're great examples of finding this mindfulness and a mind-body connection during cancer treatment and long after. But they really don't have anything that you can get where they got. And you're all individual. I found that it does take support and guidance and accountability to get there. I am offering just a free call with me if you want to talk about your goals, any barriers, and making a plan to get there. I don't want this to be an extra thing that you have to do. I just want to be a support for you. So I'm sending the scheduling link in the chat so that you don't have to get off of the call and, the baby cries, your spouse needs you, you're tired, and then it's just an extra thing that you need to remember to do. And that's not what I want to add to your life. I want to be helping you. So I want to leave you with this last quote. Life is a balance of holding on and letting go. Now, I hope that what we talked about tonight kind of sparked some light on the things in your life that you want to really focus on holding on to and putting time and energy in, and the things that maybe it's time to let go of. Thank you again for all being here. And does anybody have any questions or comments or anything they'd like to share?
Thought that was fantastic. I was tired when we started, and now I'm just very relaxed. I just want to go lie down somewhere. Thanks, Kara.
Oh, thank you. Thank you guys all so much for being here and for moving and participating and everything.
Thanks everyone for joining us. I hope we see you again in 2 weeks. We are having Jen from Reclaiming Intimacy talking about relationships, dating, sex, intimacy, all of it. So come with
That's a huge
questions,
good topic.
concerns, anything you want.
Yes. That sounds amazing. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Happy St. Patrick's Day.